Hello and welcome. You are watching the News 15. So today we are going to discuss the today's political scenario of our country, how BJP's policy and how Congress is repeatedly defeating in this country. So we are going to discuss all these topics today with the Rajya Sabha member of Rajya Sabha, t.k.s. Elangovan, and he is also a spokesperson of DMK, and recently DMK is entered to the center. DMK has opened their party office to Delhi, and what are their plans, what DMK is seeking. So let's discuss with t.k.s. Elangovan. First question with you is that DMK is now opened his open party office in Delhi. So, is there any plan for DMK for 2024?
See, DMK is not just a political party, it is a movement with matters relating to people. We want a equanimous society to be there everywhere throughout the country, because our model, the Dravidian model as we call it, includes every section of the society. There is no class difference. So we want to create such a society which is existent now in the south, to be extended to the entire India. That is our motive. So the office here will be used to propagate our equanimity idea among people against the Varnashrama, Manudharma. So that is a major aim, and for which the DMK has been fighting for many years, and we have successfully come out from these clutches of Varnashrama, and we have made everybody educated, and every section of the society is included. And the DMK's the growth of Tamil Nadu is because of this inclusiveness. That is the idea which we propagate. 2024 is just one election. Our work will not end with that.
Is there any possibility for DMK, as you are heading, as party is heading to the north section of the country, so major areas, it's a Hindi belt. So any possibilities for the party to convince people, how they will convince people, how they will convince, how they make it like vote for them?
No, see, it is not the question of we coming here to power. It is a question of people changing their mindset, and it's a question of the political parties in the north. There are many regional parties in the north, like RJD, like SP. Those parties also should understand what is inclusive growth, and those parties should also work for the uplift of the downtrodden people, caste-wise downtrodden, or educationally and socially backward. So they should uplift all those people. So we need not come to power, we need not enter into the politics here, but we can induce the political parties which are here to do that.
What are the focus points for the DMK while coming in this region, while coming in the center? So what are the focus of the DMK?
Equanimity. We are against all these the religious. We are against the imposition of Hindu religion. Here we see people from all religions. They are friendly. In the south, if you come, Christians, Muslims and Hindus were like brothers and sisters. There is no clash among them. But in the north, it is not so. There are issues here and there, not everywhere. But there are issues here and there where Muslims are against Hindus or Hindus are against Muslims. See, the religion, any religion or faith in God, it should be left to the individuals, and the government should not take it up. Here there is a government which is in office which considers that to promote Hinduism throughout the country. Religion cannot be a subject of the government. It is by a personal wish of an individual. I can follow any religion, I can pray any God, I can do in relation to God, following a God. I can be a Saivite, I can be a Vaishnavite, even in Hinduism. I can be a Buddhist. Nobody can stop me. That right is given by the Constitution. In the Fundamental Rights, Article 25 says that freedom of conscience and freedom of religion. which means the right is given to me, to the citizen. Government cannot take it up and as if they have the right to make people follow this religion or that religion. So that way, India has it is a multi-religious country. We have Sikhism, we have Jainism, we have Buddhism. Even in Hinduism, we have Saivism, we have Vaishnavism. So all these things are should be left to the individual to choose what he likes. So, but here the government wants that it should be a Hindu nation. It cannot be a Hindu nation. So we want to tell the people that it is for you to do that. The Constitution has given you the right to follow any religion as you please or as you wish. That freedom is given by the Constitution. So such things, we can tell the people, we can make the people understand all these things. So in that way we will proceed.
Is there any chances for DMK to be a part of all anti-Modi party alliance?
This time I think we stand against Modi, a BJP alliance. That is for good. That is what our leader who had come here also had expressed, that this kind of religious politics is not ours. We want secularism and equanimity. So that is our policy, which we have been practicing in the south, particularly in Tamil Nadu, and we want to come to the North India also.
DMK will come in. DMK is coming to center with the focus of cleaning the Hinduism politics, the politics of divide and rule. Right. So, what do you think in this region? How do you going to manage the people? How do you going to make people convince? How do you? What are the plans of DMK to fight a center party which is now ruling, BJP?
See, almost all the political parties here, the parties led by the Congress, has a secular mindset. They are not parties with religious mindset. See, religion will divide people. All we will say to the people is that it is not the government which should direct you as to which religion you follow, which God you should pray, and which kind of dress you should wear, what you do. This is not the role of the government to advise on all these things. Here, the government is doing that. People say that if you don't believe in our religion, you go to your place. That is not the way people should be treated.
Will it be possible for all the parties, all the alliance parties, or all the other parties like DMK, Congress, and other parties, alliance parties, will it be possible for them to make people convinced that this government is doing divide and rule?
Yes, everybody is talking about that only. See, secularism, they say that India is a Hindu country. There is no question of secularism here. That is what the BJP says. They claim that it is a Hindu party. They want to impose Hindutva all over India. That is their political ideology. That is where RSS is working for. The BJP is guided by RSS, and RSS has the whip in their hand. So BJP has to go by RSS. RSS is a Hindutva party. Explicitly Hindutva. What we say is, we let them be. We are not against Hinduism or Islam or Christianity. We say that it is not the role of the government to enter into all these things. We have a different role. We have to ensure that all our citizens, irrespective of their castes, irrespective of their religion, irrespective of their way of praying prayers, all are our citizens. So they should be supported. Everybody should be treated on par. There should not be any difference among our own citizens. We have succeeded in doing that. And Tamil Nadu stands number one state in India because in human development index, Tamil Nadu is number one state. Kerala is number two state. In education, Kerala is number one state. Tamil Nadu is number two state. So the number 2, 3, 4 positions all lies with the southern states. Not with the northern states. Why? Because there is no such difference. In Kerala, you can see a lot of Christians, Muslims, and Hindus living together in a friendly way. They go to their own temple, they have their own kind of prayers, but they don't fight with each other. They will equal to treat other people of other religion as their friends, brothers, relatives.
In past 1 month ago, which happened in Karnataka, like hijab law has happened there. It turns it turns into very political way. It turns into very ritual way. It turns into very religious way. So, what do you think over it?
That is wrong. That is what I say. It should be left to the individual. It should not be taken up by the government or any institution. See, institutionalizing religion itself is not good for the country. It only creates difference. We are a secular country, and that secularism should remain. We should allow everybody to follow any religion or any religious practice what they like. They have the freedom to do that. So that is what I say. See, interference by the government or any institution in this will definitely create trouble. See, even some of the BJP ministers, I think one minister had spoken against this. He is a minister in the present government, and an MLA also had spoken. So this is the culture of the South. You follow your religion, I follow my religion, but we are friends. We are human beings. That is how it goes. How it should go in the North also, in the whole country. That is what we wish.
Other plans for DMK, while coming in north, while coming in center, what are the other plans of DMK?
See, we have an office here just to go to the people living in the north and tell what kind of governance we were doing, what kind of politics we were doing in the south, which has definitely strongly helped Tamil Nadu to be a forerunning state in the country, in terms of development, human development, and employment and economics. So that should be there in every state. So we work for it. We will tell the people as to what we were doing to bring in this kind of a success in the state.
Bringing harmony, peace and harmony is
And
like,
growth.
and growth. Together with growth is totally depend on law and order. So, what kind of law and order model can you prefer for the north? If you are in the north, if you are going to fight in the north, so what kind of model you wish to?
See, first thing, law and order is an issue which comes out of two reasons. One is animosity, somebody fighting with each other. The second is poverty. So if the state grows, poverty will come down. If we can give employment to everybody, poverty will not be there. If we can give food to everybody, we can reduce poverty. Second, animosity. Both two teams, if we try to divide the people into religious group or casteist group or any kind of group, that will lead to law and order issue. So first thing, crime are committed for food. Secondly, crime because of hatred towards other groups. So if we eliminate both these things, I think by and large we can maintain law and order.
So come to the Tamil Nadu, as Tamil Nadu is near near Sri Lanka, and now Sri Lanka is facing a financial crisis and in a very bad condition. So for Sri Lanka, what do you think? Who is the responsible of this situation, which is right now Sri Lanka is facing?
See, Sri Lanka is ruled by a particular family for about so many years, I can say, for about 20 years. So they were claiming many things. They were sometimes talking against India. They were not respecting their neighbors. They had gone to China for their infrastructural development. And I think what I understand is that the Chinese borrowings have led to the economic crisis in the in Sri Lanka, which means the government in Sri Lanka has chosen a wrong path or a they were overly relying on one country. That may be the reason. Because the economy has gone down. There is no power supply, there is no food. A government has to provide all those things. So it is the part of the failure of the Sri Lankan administration that had led to this situation. So as a political party, all we want is that the people of Sri Lanka should not suffer because of the mistakes of the government or their administration. So whoever comes willingly come to support them, they should support the people of Sri Lanka. Ultimately, the people is the makes the nation, not the land. So people should be fed properly. The sufficient food should be made available to the people of Sri Lanka, and their life, their education, their health, all those things which any ordinary man needs should be met with by some support. And in an international issues, the country which is affected, which is facing problems, should seek assistance from other countries. I don't know what this Sri Lankan administration is going to do. See, we cannot go and voluntarily do something when the country, we have to give it to the government of that country.
Tamil Nadu has volunteered it that they will given the they will give their crop.
Yes, yes, yes.
Recently grown crop they will transfer to Sri Lanka.
It is for the people. Because of the failure of administration or skilled administration in the state, the sufferers are the people. So we wanted, because the many Tamils are there and they are our closest neighbors, just 20-25 kilometers away from Tamil Nadu. We cannot see our neighbors like that suffering for want of food. So we had announced, our Chief Minister had announced that he will send food materials if the government of India permits, because it is the subject is the union government subject, not the state subject. So we have sought the permission of the government of India to support the people of Sri Lanka, and if the government accepts our request, then it is good.
So Sri Lanka has also seek some financial request, some financial help from India also. So on that part, what do you think after Sri Lanka's reaction on India? Many of times they have they have given so much statements.
Yeah, that is, see, the problem with Sri Lanka is that even India had done some good work there. They have laid railway lines from the south to north in Sri Lankan island. But they had taken the service of the Chinese to build their harbors and to build other infrastructure in Sri Lanka. So they were more reliant on China than in India, because they thought that India might interfere in the Tamils affairs, because there is an agreement signed when the Congress was in power, Indira Gandhi was in power, subsequently Rahul Gandhi was in power, Rajiv Gandhi was in power. They had entered into an agreement that they will give equal right to the Tamils. So they may think that if we seek the assistance of India, they may press to implement the agreement which was signed by them. They have to make a constitutional amendment. That is the requirement which that agreement will lead to. So might have thought that going to India for their support will lead to some other pressure. So they had gone with China, and I think that China has borrowed a huge money for the infrastructure projects, or the government of Sri Lanka had borrowed huge money to invest in the infrastructure products, and that is the reason for the economic crisis the country is facing. So this is an administrative failure. The rulers there say that they are running the country in a better way, but ultimately they have let down everybody, including the Sinhalese, not only Tamils. Even the Sinhalese are suffering for want of food. They say that for 15-20 days there is no power. Power supply was not there. So in every aspect, the Sri Lankan people, whether they are Tamils or Sinhalese, they are suffering. That is the because of the failure of administration. That's all.
Talking over China, is there any policy? Do you think that really China follow this policy of giving debt to countries and then capturing their whole nation, capturing their boundaries, capturing their borders?
I don't think so, because they have some border dispute with India, because they are the neighbors of India. Beyond India, the Himalayas, China lies, and some of our states, Nagaland, Meghalaya, Tibet, there are certain issues. They claim that it is their country because there are a number of Chinese living there. But we claim that it was part of India. So there is no role. When they could not succeed, here in India, in the things, they have nothing to do with China. Otherwise, they fought with the Britishers to give back Hong Kong, and British had left because it was in agreement for some years. After the agreement is over, they took away Hong Kong. And earlier struggle was between what I can say, the part of Taiwan. Now it is called Taiwan. That was also part of China, but Chiang Kai-shek was not willing to go with China. He wanted to maintain it as a separate land. That issue is there. Now that also they are not trying. I don't think they are fighting for Taiwan also. So I don't think that China will capture their neighboring countries. They are not at it. They have to save their own people. That is their priority.
But this story is going all around.
I don't think so. That has not happened. I see from the facts I find from the history. I don't talk of my own. But only the difference, border dispute they have is with India, particularly Tibet now. Yeah. But with Taiwan, there is no more border issue because Taiwan is supported by the US. So Hong Kong, they have got back from British, because that period, that agreement period is over. They will not go beyond their area to capture land. That China has not done, and they have a lot of worries for themselves. They have to support the number one population. Currently. So they are number one in the current population. So I don't think they will go for some other things, some other fight or capture more land areas. Nowadays, nobody thinks of expanding their area. They want to support the people who are already living in their area.
Yeah. So coming back to our nation, so India is currently facing price hike, petrol diesel price hike. Everything has now priced hike, toll plaza or whatever it is. So what do you think? What's the main reason of this price hike?
I'll tell you, this government does not care for the poor. See, the increase in petrol prices has no valid reason. The government has no valid reason to tell as to why they are increasing the price of petroleum products. Even when the crude oil price had gone down, they have not reduced the price. See, when the cost of input material goes down, the cost of output material will also go down. If crude price goes down, the petroleum, after refining the petroleum and petrol and diesel prices should also go down. And the tax is fixed on basis of percentage. So it will also go down. If 50 rupees a litre, it goes down to 40 rupees, 10% taxes will not be 5 rupees, it will be 4 rupees. So that is the way the calculations are going on. But this government had not reduced the product cost, even when the input cost had gone down. They are making money, they are minting money because they are supporting some agencies who are the importers of crude oil from world elsewhere. And mainly, I think the Reliance are the major importers of crude oil. They want to support 2 or 3 rich people in this country. They want to sell everything to them. So common men are affected. See, during the last 2 years, the daily wages are the most affected section of the society. There will be about 60 to 70% of the people are daily wages. They are not monthly salaried people. When an auto rickshaw driver could not ride an auto for months, he will lose all his income. Then how will his family survive? How will his children go to school? How will his family will take care of their health needs? So these are the problems faced by the daily wagers. Small people, small traders, platform shops, they could not run shops in the platforms because of COVID. They have said what this government had done to them. So they have not done anything to the people who are really suffering, but they are doing everything to the people who really enjoy, who are the richest lot in the country. So ultimately the sufferers are the common man. When the common man suffer, then it is economic failure.
Central government claims that they are giving many and several schemes under Make in India, many schemes for roadside vendors, many schemes for rickshaw pullers, many schemes for women's. So, what do you think over it?
They claim everything. They do everything. The other day also, they say that the profit of the banks have increased. When they are writing of heavy, huge amount of loans we given to the big borrowers, small borrowers are suffering. They are not giving any even loan. They are suffering. They are catching them. They are taking away their property, and they are leaving them in lurch. Which means they are not treating both these groups equally. See, in a country like India, the public sector unit is there only to support the people. In a civilized society in the 21st century democracy, the role of the government is only to provide socio-economic protection to its citizens. Beyond that, there is no role for the government. They are not giving this socio-economic protection to the people. They are not creating fresh employment. They are not giving free food during the crisis. But what they do is they want to sell off everything. They talk of 5 trillion economy. The joke is that 2 years back they were talking about 5 trillion economy. Whenever they present a budget, they project a big boost in the economy. Then simultaneously they will also announce monetization. They want to sell off the government property. See the difference. They say they talk of 5 trillion economy and selling their own properties. That is how this government is happening. And this has affected the general economy. People are suffering. The NSSO had stated 2 years back that the domestic consumption has gone down because there is no money with the people. Only if they have money they will buy. When the domestic consumption had gone down, what is the use of giving big industries huge money to produce more material when there are no buyers? When people is not in a position to buy, the government is supporting big industries.
Currently, the youth of this country is facing a major issue is unemployment. So, what do you think over it? What this government has done justice to this?
See, in a public sector undertaking, they will employ more people, see at least about 10 to 15% more. In a private company, what they will do is they will downsize the number of employees. If you sell a government unit which had so far employed 200 people, if it goes to the private hand, this 200 will come down to 100. Because they are profit making bodies. Government is not a profit making body. Government has a social role to play. Whereas private players, you cannot expect them to have a social mindset. They are there for profit making.
So on the unemployment topic, on unemployment for the unemployment, what do you think? Which government did better, either BJP or past government, Congress?
Most of the public sector units in India have come only during the Congress period. Since in the early 50s, they have started creating public sector enterprises where it gave employment to many people. It went to the rural areas. See, for example, there was a power plant at Neyveli, Tamil Nadu. lignite corporation, Neyveli Lignite Corporation, they took lignite and also they produced power. So they had taken land from the local people with an assurance that all local people, at least one from one family will be given employment. That way it is happening. So wherever the government starts a unit, they will make certain assurances that at least one person from one family which had given some land will be employed. So that area, the people in that area will get employment in that factory. But a private player will not do that. He will purchase the land. Wherever land is available, he will start his industry. He will have a less number of workers. His mindset will be for profit, in profit making, not in giving employment or any social. He has no social responsibility, first thing. They are doing it for business. But a PSU has a social responsibility. A government has a social responsibility. So that is the difference. This government has rightist view. They are selling everything to private. They have BSNL, they were planning to sell it to private because they have asked about 60,000 employees of BSNL to take up voluntary retirement. So these things, what this government is doing is that they want to reduce the burden of that company, so that when it sells the company to a private player, he will immediately take it up. With huge burden, a private player will be reluctant to take any government company. So they want to sell everything. The minister says, selling petrol is not our work. Hitherto, about 12 major ports of India where the administration was run by a trust. Now they have corporatized it, which means they are going to sell it to private players. And Adani is already running 3 more number of ports. Now he is going to take up all the other remaining ports also. There is in Chennai, there are 2 ports. One is the Chennai port, the second is the Ennore port. Just 10 to 15 kilometers away, Adani is constructing a port. This government has given a license. What is the meaning of it? Then after Adani starts his business, the government of India will ask the ships to come only to Adani port, and these 2 ports will be closed. What is the investment made by the government in those ports? What will happen to the investment made by the government in these ports? Say take LIC. LIC, the government's, union government's investment in LIC is a mere 5 crores. But LIC had given a dividend about 18,000 crores to the government. Around 18,000 crores to the government. With an investment of 5 crores, this government had gained 18,000 crores. Apart from that, during the earlier 5-year plans, they have given lakhs of crores of rupees to the government for infrastructure development. So with one LIC, the government had gained many lakhs of rupees. But if they privatize it, the entire money will go to a private party and the government will have no role. This money will not come to the government. They say that they don't have money and they are going in for monetization, which means they are killing a golden goose, a goose which lays golden egg. That is how this government is running.
In today's political scenario, now the people of this country think that Congress was the party which was supporting only one majority, one part of a group, one group of this country, and that is obviously Muslims. So, what do you think over it? What do you think over it?
See, the concept is wrong. I don't accept. I can only see that Congress had not let down Hindus like what the BJP did. They also took away Muslims with them. They did not fight with the Muslims, they did not support only Muslims against Hindus.
But today's political scenario is changed. People think about when people come to the Congress, they think over. Firstly, the first thing come into their mind is the thing that this party is the supportive party of Muslims. Yes. So how they will come over it?
You are right, but who are affected? See, the question is, if they are affected, in our state, the backward classes were affected class, the scheduled caste were affected class. We stood by them. That does not alienate our party from the upper caste people. Maybe a small section of the people were against us. Otherwise, all the other, even upper caste people were with us. They supported us. They also fought for the rights of these downtrodden people. So when we support one group, just because that group is being left out by the ruling party, that doesn't mean that we are against the other group. So you have to interpret it that way. Congress party is a Hindu party. But they don't want, when the BJP tries to leave Muslims alone or leave separate Muslims, the Congress goes in support of them because they are also Indians. See, the question of Indianness comes in the mind of Congress, whereas religious debate is there in the BJP. That is the only difference.
So, as you have mentioned now that Congress is a Hindu party, and in this last assembly elections, Congress party has attacked very forcingly on this religion politics. They have told even Rahul Gandhi have developed a new theory and a new name of Hindutva. So what do you think over it? That I don't think that it really works in the last elections for Congress.
See, the problem with the Congress, I think, is not political. It is a leadership crisis. That is what I feel. That I don't see beyond that. Say they should sit and work out a way to overcome this problem. BJP is full of lies and false promises making to the people. So people get carried away by that. Otherwise, I don't think that BJP policies will help the country in the long run. Ultimately, it will put people to kill people. In fact, many there will be more number of. I can say even now, people who had escaped from corona will die because of want of food. That is the situation today. This government has let down the poor.
But this government has won in five states on the base of this corona maintenance, corona. How they maintain corona, how they manage the corona pandemic situation.
Yeah, right, that's right. See, when propaganda, when people initially get attracted by propaganda, people will understand in due course. We have to wait for that. We cannot, in a democracy, we cannot say that one kind of propaganda is wrong. Or we can go to the people and say that this government has failed in this government has failed in that. That way only we can propagate. We must make the people understand there is not strong forces in the north to make the people understand all these issues. They are not discussing about these issues. There are a lot of infighting between the opposition parties. There are many issues in Uttar Pradesh. Mayawati does not want to join hands with SP. Congress does not want to join hands with SP. Even though all these three parties have a different policy against BJP, they are not together. So there are certain issues which they have to overcome. The parties in the north has to overcome. They should unitedly fight against BJP. BJP is
You
not a
think
force.
that if these all parties will come together and unite and fight against BJP, then they can remove they can vanish BJP.
Definitely. I think in Uttar Pradesh about 69 seats were won by BJP, which the BJP had won, with a margin of about 50 to 2,000 votes. So if the Congress and SP were together, I think all these 69 seats would have been captured by this. So these marginal victories by BJP will be lost. So that will have helped the opposite party. These are all election strategy. Some people stay strong with the Congress, some people will stay strong with the SP, but they are divided. And they stand united. BJP as an all India presence. What happened in West Bengal early in the parliament elections, BJP made a strong footing in West Bengal, but in the assembly they lost. So it is for the opposition parties or the parties against BJP's policies should stand united to fight BJP. Then we can
In this
defeat.
current situation, in this current political situation, what do you think that our Vipakshi parties, right, our opposition is in strong position or not?
Still, there need to be some understanding. At least when we are here, we will try to unite all these parties. That will also be one of our roles of the DMK at this point of time.
Just last one, the Congress really need to change their mindset of addressing party or ruling party to rule party. They should really need a family member, or they really need to seek assistance, or they really need help from others.
See, what this way I go through the Congress history after independence, not before independence. See, until 1989 and 91, only during 1977 the Congress was defeated because of emergency. 80 Congress came back to power. 84 Congress won. 89 also there was a defeat because of some issue in the thing, and they had a sizable number. In
1989, there was the ruckus started over this Babri Masjid and Ram Mandir and all this.
VP Singh and that some defense deal and all. In 90 from 91 to 2004, not 2004, I can say 2002 or around the initial years of 2000. Congress had a different leader, not from this family. But during that time, Congress was not in power. Only when Sonia Gandhi took over as the presidency, Congress came to power. For the next 10 years, Congress was ruling. So that means people also want somebody from that family to lead that party. That is how I can understand.
Seeking this history, so what do you want to say? That people also want their family people also want their family to rule over them, but
It is the name of Nehru and Gandhi, not family. I don't think that it is the family. The name of Nehru, name of Gandhi, what they had done to us. So people show their loyalty to these names, not people.
so in this current situation, again Sonia Gandhi should lead this party.
I think she is she had won 2 elections. Why not the third election also?
So she should head this party.
I am not recommending anybody to lead that party, but
just a viewpoint.
it is not Nehru family, Indira Gandhi family. People may not, people all over the country. These are the names which is known to the whole nation. Other leaders, their names is popular only in the local area. That is what I say. I don't say that there are no leaders. There are no leaders of national stature except for this family.
Leaders under Congress are saying many things, are saying that party is not in good conditions. That's why this point is arising, and that's why.
You are right. For the people of Tamil Nadu, they don't know who Ghulam Nabi Azad is. But they know who Sonia is.
Got your point. Thank you so much for giving us time. Thank you so much. Thank you.